Hello and good afternoon, church. Pastor Rachel here. It's good to be with you once again for our Thursday at 3 update. Today, I'm happy to introduce our chair of the Finance Committee, Randy Nunley. Randy, how are you? Thanks for coming.
Glad to be here, doing fantastic, and love working with the church.
Well, we love having you and Mary Jane as a part of our faith community. We have a lot to update on. We will try to not get too much into the details, but we have some stuff that we want to make sure we're communicating out and keeping you informed about. I think our last financial update was myself and Pastor David before he went on renewal leave. And we are learning in the middle of this strange season, one of the best ways to build trust with our congregation, our staff, our leaders, is to continue to inform you about where we are financially. And I will say that if there ever is a time where you have questions or concerns, or you want to know more about our finances, our books are open, and you can always email our COO, Matt Kuzma, and find out more information about this. You're always welcome to ask Randy or myself as well. We have an incredibly gifted finance committee team. We just met this past Sunday, so all of this is fresh in our mind. But we want to first off start by saying thank you to all of you who have faithfully given to this church. And I'll let Randy say more about that, and then we'll share our screen to walk you through our year-to-date numbers.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. And yes, I just want to again thank everybody out there that have continued to give and be good stewards of our gifts. And an interesting thing is late last year, the United Methodist Church did a survey on financial giving during the pandemic. And the interesting thing is, I've been a lifelong Methodist, so this doesn't really surprise me too much, is that when it comes to giving, United Methodist, even through the pandemic, continue to give at great levels to the local congregation. Now, there are some congregations that are having some challenging times. However, overall, United Methodists have continued to give locally to the church, and that's why many of them, like us, continue to be able to serve our communities as we've been called to do.
We are so thankful for the continued giving of this congregation and how generous we all are. So thank you for that. I'm going to share my screen so we can walk you through what we typically talk through our profit and loss sheet, our page. We only have through April finances, although we've had three really great Sundays in May. This is just up to date for April. So let me share this with you, and Randy will walk us through it. I'll start at the top.
Yeah, and like Rachel said, this is a monthly report that we always review. It has two parts. The top part is the month to date information, comparing the current month to the budget. But I want to concentrate more on the bigger picture, the year to date. So you'll see down here, this is a section that shows the year to date, which is January through April 30th of this year. And the great news, and we've kind of alluded to this a few minutes ago, giving, it continues to be great at First Winter Park. As you'll see, when it comes to pledge giving, we're about 79,000 ahead of budget. I want to thank many of y'all who have prepaid your annual pledge this year already. That has helped us tremendously to get through the first 4 months of 2021. So thank you again. And with that, we were able to really go into the summer months, which traditionally for any church is always the challenging months. When it comes to unpledged giving, it has been a challenge. A lot of times that comes from those who are visiting the church during worship service, or those that don't pledge as currently when they do give an offering plate on Sunday mornings. Unfortunately, as we all know, we've had to scale back in-person worship service. But great news, and Rachel just made reference to this, over the last few weeks, we've really increased our in-person worship attendance with relaxing some of the requirements, which everybody should receive information from the church about the current protocols. We are seeing great increases in and worship service on Sunday mornings. And so I anticipate this number to be increasing over time as we increase the number of people giving. Now, unfortunately, the first 4 months does include Easter, and traditionally Easter is a big Sunday for churches when it comes to giving, because a lot of times those who don't come to church on a regular basis comes on Easter, and or those who do come on to church weekly. This is when they usually a lot of increase in unpledged giving happens. But as we all know, we had to not do in-person worship for this Easter. So that number is a little lower than it would traditionally be. But with the months coming up, the holidays coming up later this year, these numbers should be getting more into being a more normal trend like we've seen in past years pre-pandemic. So when it comes to year to and when other revenues, excuse me, we go back. Other revenues includes primarily our preschools, and it's great to say that they're going strong. We're serving our families in the community and the church with the preschools, and they're doing a great job on getting back to where things were pre-pandemic. So as you'll see, when it comes to total revenue, we're actually about $61,000 ahead of budget, which is great. Now the other side of the equation, which we always like to look at, we do look at it pretty closely at finance committee meetings, is the expense side. And it's great to say overall that all the pillar leaders, all the ministries of the church, and those involved with the various ministries of the church are doing a great job watching the expenses. And because of that, it's a great favorable. We're actually 75,000 below budget for expenses, and so the net of that and the total revenue, we're doing great. And as you'll see on the bottom line, the net total, we were actually budgeted to have a loss for the first 4 months of totaling about $90,000, but we actually had an increase of 68,000. So we are $158,000 ahead of where we anticipated we were when we did the budget.
And I'll just jump in and say, as one of the staff members, that part of why we see this the way it is because we've been very transparent with our staff, with our ministry leaders and our pillar leaders about where we are financially and how we must be good stewards of the gifts that we've been entrusted with. And we found real strategic ways of continuing to not just spend outrageously, but really think strategically about how we spend our money, and everyone's done really well. So a shout out to all of our staff and our ministry leaders and our pillar leaders for helping us make that happen, and for helping us have that continued narrative about being good stewards with this budget. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing unless there's anything else you want to share with us, Randy, about our year-to-date numbers.
Well, I'll just say again, like what you said earlier, if y'all have any questions or if any of the groups out there, any Sunday school classes or other groups would like me to talk about the finance of the church, let me know. I'd love to talk to you and to all the groups and give you the opportunity to meet a lot of y'all who have not able to meet yet. So.
Thank you, Randy. And you're doing an amazing job. You and the rest of the finance committee, thank you for your using your gifts and your talents to continue to make this church the body of Jesus Christ, reaching out to the community in a really amazing way. So thank you for that. I will say one more thing from our end, that we are just so excited about our beginning to return back to normal. If you've been worshiping with us in person, or if you've been reading our newsletters, you know that all fully vaccinated adults, masks are now optional for you. We are continuing to ask that those that work with our children, our nursery, and our youth, those that are in the vulnerable population would continue to remain masked, but everyone else that is fully vaccinated, it was quite a celebration this past Sunday. We had over 300 people in worship between the two services, and you can just feel the energy. People are standing and singing and being the body of Christ again. And it has been so good for my heart, being brand new to this community, to finally see the community coming back together. I want to invite all of you to come and be a part of worship this Sunday. Our Bishop Ken Carter, will be bringing us the message on this Pentecost Sunday. So bring a friend or a partner or spouse or neighbor and be a part of worship with us in person. It really is better when you are here amongst us. So thank you. And again, don't hesitate to reach out if we can answer any of your questions. Randy, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation today.
Thank you. And Rachel, before we go, again, I just want to remind everybody, again, the summer months are the challenging months for us. So I like to invite everybody to do what I did recently with everything going on and traveling and such um, to increase over the next few months. I decided to go ahead and have my weekly pledge giving automatically withdrawn from my account and goes right to the church. That's something I don't have to worry about. You know, I've been a person, I love putting something in the offering plate every week. And of course, I've been doing it online over the last few months. And I just realized, hey, this is pretty easy to do. So I want to invite y'all, for those who travel a lot, to ensure that you're giving, continue giving through every week or as often as you do. Please consider online giving and have it automatically transferred to the church. And that will really help us get through the summer months.
Thank you, Randy. And that is a really good reminder for all of us. And if you have any questions about how to set up an online giving account, I would be happy to either walk you through it myself or get you the answer. So don't hesitate to reach out to me. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you for being a part of this update. God bless you, and hopefully we'll see you on Sunday. Bye.
See you Sunday. Thanks.